You clearly love kids. Is that why you decided to speak out about what's happening in Gaza, specifically with children?
I think it should be controversial to not say anything.
Did you also, like millions of other Americans, just seeing these horrific, tragic videos?
The idea that caring for a group of children in an emergency situation means you don't care about other children is false.
Are Palestinian children less human than other children? Should we care less about them? I don't quite get where the controversy is coming from.
It's sad that people try to make it controversial when you speak out for children that are facing immeasurable suffering.
I'm sure you have a lot of good people in your lives who are saying to you, just be quiet. It's not worth it. What do you say to them?
Our compassion doesn't have boundaries or borders. We just love kids.
Why do you feel this urge to speak out for Sudanese kids and Haitian kids, and right now, obviously, the kids who are suffering most in the world, the Gazan kids?
Silence wasn't a choice for me.
Whether or not you have toddlers, by now chances are you've heard about Miss Rachel, the children's educator who's taken the world by storm. With more than 14 million subscribers on YouTube and billions of views worldwide, Miss Rachel has become a superstar in children's entertainment, teaching them everything from how to sound out syllables to learning more about their emotions. But Miss Rachel has not just garnered attention for her educational videos, she's become an outspoken advocate for children in Gaza who've been displaced, starved, injured, and killed in their thousands, more than 15,000 in Israel's offensive. After speaking out about the plight of Gaza's children, Miss Rachel has been thrust into the centre of some very unfair online controversy. And I'm delighted to say she joins me now. Rachel, thanks so much for joining us on the show. And I feel like I should introduce you as Rachel Accurso, your actual name.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful pronunciation.
I butcher everyone's name, so it's good. I'm just going to go with Miss Rachel, it's safer now. Before we get to Gaza, I've got to say, every parent who found out that I was interviewing you today, everyone I know, friends, family, who found out, Miss Rachel? I said, I'm interviewing Miss Rachel. They went crazy in a way that I've not seen people in my community, in my friends and family. I mean, I've interviewed Hollywood celebrities, world leaders. But when I said your name, I've not had a reaction like that. People are like, what, can I come? Can I be there? Can I see her? How have you become such a global phenomenon for kids and their parents in such a short space of time? Just last decade?
It was truly by accident, but I'm so privileged to be able to connect with so many little ones, and I just love my job. But we actually, when we started, we didn't know that so many kids watch YouTube.
Yeah.
I grew up with just regular TV, and we had like this thing where you turned it and you had like 3 channels. So I didn't know so many kids watched on YouTube, but I did know that I had trouble finding resources for my son, and he's such a visual learner. I thought that some of the things I was learning to help him would benefit other little ones. And I had him watch the show.
You say by accident, so I think you went on YouTube in 2016, a YouTube channel. So were you thinking that, okay, this is the best way to get to other kids, YouTube is the way forward?
No, I didn't know that. I just thought maybe I'll help some kids. And
how did you want to help them?
It wasn't like an overnight success. Well, I knew that my son really benefited from a slower paced show. I used to make him his own show, and actually I would take, like, he'd be watching a show he likes, and then I'd edit it and be like, it's mommy here to like teach you something. So anyway, I just knew that these methods I was learning to help him with a severe speech delay would benefit other kids, which are leaving space for them to answer and doing fill-ins like ready, set, go. That really helped him. Just a slow pace. And
you mentioned it wasn't an overnight success. Am I right in saying that the pandemic, the COVID, the lockdowns, that whole period, really, you just ramped up in that period? A lot of people came to find you then in that moment.
Well, I think so. I think people were home, and I think speech therapy was virtual, and it was tough, and some people didn't have access to it. I have to give a shout out to my amazing husband, because he was off of Broadway for 18 months, I believe. So we lived in his parents' basement, and we had a lot of... The
basement is the best place to produce content.
It was bigger than our apartment, so yes. And somebody was like, I'd love to come to your television studio, and I was like, it's my in-laws' basement. But yeah, so he had a lot of time, and he jumped in. He jumps into all my projects, whether they're successful or when they weren't successful at all. We've always done that for each other. So he used to help me with tracks for teaching music in public school and put everything into it for those kids, and it just hasn't changed. So
you were a school teacher at one point. Just for people who only know you from YouTube, what is your background? Have you always loved working with kids?
I have. So I started when I was 18. I was an assistant preschool teacher at a school for kids with disabilities, and they totally transformed me. I just loved it. I was like, just amazed that I could be excited to go into a job, and seeing their progress was so exciting. And it definitely, my supervisor said in a letter, you have a rare gift that I don't often see with kids. And I was like, oh, wow, like maybe I have a gift for this. And I knew that felt like a calling for me. So I found other jobs working with kids, and eventually I studied to become a certified music teacher. And then I got another master's in early childhood inspired by my little boy and the show, because I knew if I was going to be this teacher to kids in this crucial time, I wanted to have all the knowledge, early childhood knowledge I could.
And you have 2 kids now.
Yes, I do.
That's awesome.
My world.
You clearly
my worlds.
love kids, not just your own. It's obvious to anyone who's seen you online and now meeting you in person. You have 2 kids of your own. Is that why you decided to speak out about what's happening in Gaza, specifically with children in Gaza, because of what's happening to the kids there?
I do think being a mother makes you put yourself in that situation. And I think my background in early childhood makes me think about that crucial brain development time of 0 to 3. So if you're being malnourished and you're seeing trauma and you're losing your family, that's a really crucial time of brain development. So I think about that. And then I think just empathy for all kids, which I've always had.
A lot of people, I know a lot of people, I've been covering the conflict professionally for 20 years. I've been following it since I was a teenager, something I've been interested in. But a lot of people I know came to the Middle East conflict, came to Gaza, Israel, after October 7th, seeing the horrors of what happened on October the 7th, and then seeing the horrors since. A lot of people came via Instagram, watching social media videos in their feeds of children under the rubble, missing limbs, kids mourning their parents, parents mourning their kids. And I'm just wondering, is it something you followed always, or did you also, like millions of other Americans, come to this via social media, just seeing these horrific, tragic videos in social media?
So I didn't know much before, and I was just horrified by October 7th. And then I just tried to listen and learn. And I still am doing that with friends and people. So I had been working with Save the Children prior. When the show became successful, I got an agent, and my agent was like, tell me about what you want to do. And I was like, I want to be connected to charities, and I want to do work helping children. So I got involved with Save the Children.
Great charity.
Yeah, and I was learning from their team and their CEO about a lot of things going on with children here in the U.S., food insecurity. I was learning about the Congo. She had just come back from there, and they asked me if I wanted to have a meeting with her, and I wanted to learn about that. And I just asked, like, what is a day like for kids there? And then she was in Gaza, and she came back, and they said, would you want to meet from her and hear what it's like for kids there? And I was like, definitely. So I heard from her, and I knew she was there, and she was describing what was happening firsthand. And then, of course, I did see the